I've asked for these changes of mindset to come into my life, and they're here. I don't. I just want to like throw a temper tantrum, and I just don't want to do this. All right, welcome back to A Life in Delusion. My name is Q. Here on this channel, we're talking about leveling up, personal growth, creating, curating your best life. Thank you for joining me. So today is exciting for me. It's a very rainy Monday here. Yeah, pretty exciting. I am right around, maybe a little bit more than halfway, or right around halfway through doing 75 hard for the first time ever. It's something I've thought about probably all last year at least. And I'm gonna do it, and I'm finally doing it. So cheers, applause, thank you. Yeah, so I wanted to kind of pop in and talk about how it's going and how I'm getting through it and how I feel at this point, and of course the progress so far. So first up, let's talk about the main components of 75 hard. Now, if you are doing strict 75 hard, and I made a few variations just based on my own personal needs, wants, etc. But it is a gallon of water a day, 2 workouts a day, 45 minutes each, one of which has to be outside. Picking a diet and sticking to it for the whole 75 days. Reading 10 pages of like nonfiction self-help type books per day. I think that's it. So let's talk about kind of each component and how I applied them to my my program. So first up, diet. So for my diet, I did a pescatarian diet, no dairy. Those are kind of the main components, and just as little toppers, I'm only doing desserts because I have a really crazy sweet tooth. Desserts on Friday, and no like sweetened drinks, with the caveat of my caffeinated drinks. I'm not strong enough for black coffee, and I've been taking some mushroom coffee, and that's even more bitter, if you can believe that, than just straight up coffee or espresso. So pescatarian, no dairy, so that means no butter, no milk, no ice cream, no, none of the good stuff, which also helps combat desserts because it's kind of impossible to, or next to impossible to find desserts without any dairy in it that tastes good, because vegan desserts can get a little weird. So yeah, that was my diet. I've never been a huge meat eater. I did enjoy meat. And my sister-in-law gets mad when I say I'm not eating meat right now, but I'm eating fish. I differentiate the two. A lot of people get in feel some kind of way about that, but I differentiate the two. Seafood and meat are different categories for me. And if you go in a grocery store, it says they have them separate. If you go in the grocery store, it says meat and seafood, or whatever. Eggs and dairy are separate. But anyway, so I've never been huge on that, so it was inconvenient more than it was like a desired struggle, because just eating meat is the easier thing to do. I haven't cooked meat in months, and even when I was cooking it, I was cooking it for other people. So I don't even cook meat for myself. I don't really like just handling it anymore. I'm just kind of spiritually, or just something I've not wanted to do for a long time. So when I would have it, I would have to get it out, get it from somewhere else, get it from a restaurant, get it from, whatever. So that was, a stretch, and really limiting on the type of things I could eat. So no burgers, no steaks, no fried chicken, no chicken wings, all that kind of stuff, fell off. Not that I was eating a lot of it, but it was just completely not an option anymore. No dairy was a little more difficult. I know I've done no dairy before and seen a big change, and so I know the effects of not consuming dairy, so I already had that in mind. And also very limiting, like I said, it kind of bleeds into not having desserts, because most desserts are going to have milk, cream, that kind of thing incorporated into it. So it makes it, just more limited on what you can have. Yeah, just hormonally, that was kind of my driving force of having no dairy, just knowing that, I'm not a baby cow, I'm not a baby goat. So these products weren't meant for me. As much as I enjoy cheese, I've had, I've settled and, embraced vegan cheese. I actually found the Follow Your Heart has been the best. Diet's pretty good too, but the Follow Your Heart pepper jack recently has been hitting. It's been thing. So, I'm not that upset about it, but it means no pizza because I don't want a vegan cheese pizza. That means, what else does cheese go on? That's kind of the main thing. And I wasn't eating a lot of pizza to begin with anyway. So it's like, oh, nah, now I can't have pizza. Oh my goodness. I wasn't eating that much pizza anyway. Maybe once a month, but yeah. So it's just like, it makes you think about, you feel like you're limiting yourself, but how much were you eating this? Like, how many burgers? How many burgers was I eating before this? How many, desserts was I eating before this? More than I should have. So, fair game. But yeah, besides that, yeah, no sweetened drinks. Again, something I wasn't having a lot of, but to just cut it out completely, I'm sure has made a difference on just empty calories and just, random sugar intake. So no sodas, no pink drinks, no random. Oh, another additional exception was I would have, if I have a cocktail or something like that, then I would, that I wouldn't count that. But again, it's not something I'm having regularly. I bought a bottle of wine the other day, and it's been sitting in the fridge. Like, I just really don't have a taste for that. I don't have a want or a desire to even consume alcohol at all at this point. So I don't know if that's a result of this diet, or I'm just changing my mind frame, or I'm just, what it is, but I just really don't have a desire to have it. I have to keep reminding myself to, like, oh yeah, I have this wine here, I should probably drink that. It's to that point, like, even the dessert thing is, I have to remind myself that, oh yeah, it's Friday, you can, today is dessert day, and it'll be like, 3 or 4 o'clock, I'm like, oh, okay, you need to decide what you're gonna have, and it is to the point, like, this past Friday, I had to just go ahead and do it because, and I did enjoy. I ordered some duck donuts, and they were delicious. They were all delicious. I didn't realize they were vegan until I did a little research. But yeah, I have to remind myself to do these like naughty things because at this point I just don't have the desire for it. So I'm happy, I'm happy and I'm excited that I've asked for these changes of mindset to come into my life, and they're here. I've asked to only desire and want plant-based food, and it's here. I wanted to curb my sweet tooth, and I wanted to curb taking in things that were not of a benefit to my health and my body and my wellness, and here we are. So thank you. Okay, that's enough on diet. Exercise. So 2 workouts a day, 45 minutes each. One has to be outside. Now, the getting outside has been of a great benefit to me. I think it's so important as humans to get outside, because there will be days where I will not step foot outdoors for days at a time. So I think it's just vital to get out and get some fresh air and get that sunlight directly on your skin, even on cloudy days like this, to just get out there and get, again, the fresh air and the vitamin D, from the source. So there have been many days where I didn't want to, and I barely made it. But once I get out there and get going, I always feel better for having done it. So if there's nothing else I'm taking from doing this program, it's going to be getting outside every single day and going for a walk at a minimum. On top of that, my workouts have been just either walking, jogging, running, that kind of thing, doing HIIT classes, so kind of like CrossFit, it's like half cardio, half weight training. And then yoga and stretching has been a big component. On the days where I really want to rest and I need to recover, then I incorporate yoga and stretching into one of my workouts, just to give my body, some time to recuperate, because doing 90 minutes of hard work every day is not something I can sustain right now. I know people can do it and are doing it, but I know that's like a fast track to injury for me, a fast track to burnout for me. So I just want to make sure I'm doing something that is sustainable for me at this level of fitness. The books I've read so far, I started with the 12-week year, and this has been life-changing already. I'm coming into my second or third. I've broken the 12 weeks down into 4-week segments, which I think is what the book talks about. And I'm coming up to a close. This Sunday actually will be the close of another 4-week, and it's just life-changing, really setting those goals and holding myself accountable. So 12-week year. I don't have a physical copy. I think I read the ebook actually, so a little bit of cheating there. 12-week year. Go out and get it. Read it. Really quick read too. I haven't incorporated all of the components. Like they have a component talking about kind of group accountability. That's not something I've done, but I'm sure it'll help. But either way, what I'm doing seems to be working for me in major ways. The next book I read was Becoming Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza. This one was pretty hefty to get through. Like 10 pages of this a day is like 10 pages of a textbook. Hefty to get through, but I did, and I got a lot of good information out of there as far as just really mindset and just controlling your energy, expanding your energy, how to focus on your goals and your desired outcomes, your desired realities, your desired manifestations, and all that. This is the second book from Dr. Joe I read. I still have to read, or still want to read, and will read You Are the Placebo, and I want to go back and reread a physical version of Changing Who You Are or something like that. What is it called? The Art of, I don't know. I'll put it right here when I when I remember what the name of the book is, but I want to read a physical copy of that. Yeah, so I read that one. That was kind of the main chunk right now. I'm on You Are a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero. And I find that a lot of this, I'm about 100 pages, a little over 100 pages into this one. But what I'm finding is a lot of it just kind of piggybacks on what Becoming Supernatural was talking about. Changing your energy around making money, changing your energy around the kind of money you want to receive, the kind of money you're able and capable of making. Again, I'm only maybe a third of the way into that, so I can't really speak on the fullness of the entire book, but so far so good. It's just kind of reinforcing again the things I read and the lessons I learned in Becoming Supernatural. So mentally, there have been hard days. I haven't had any in the past week or two, but there are hard days when I'm just like, I do not feel like doing this. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't. I just want to like throw a temper tantrum, and I just don't want to do this. And I'm very much a person who needs to finish things. Like I know what kind of pushes me and motivates me is knowing that my personality type at this point and my just way of thinking and feeling is if I don't complete something I told myself I was going to do, I'm going to feel like crap for not completing it, and I'm going to have to start back from zero, and I don't want to do that. I want to just finish what I started. So at this point, out of 75 days, if I'm 35 days in, I'm more than halfway done. Let me see, is that mathing? 60. I'm almost halfway. I'm almost halfway, or close enough. I've done this much. Am I going to give all of this up? And not to discredit any of the progress or any of the strides or any of the momentum and advancements I've gained from this point, but I set out to do 75 days. I'm going to complete 75 days come hell or high water. Now, on those hard days, that means I'm going to do the bare minimum. That means I'm going to do the bare minimum. That means I'm going to do the least possible to be able to check that box off and say I did it. So I'm going to do yoga indoors and yoga outdoors. I'm going, or I'm going to go for the most leisurely walk I can take for those 45 minutes. I'm going to do the very least possible. Sometimes I'll find myself getting so engrossed in the reading that I'll read more than 10 pages. On those days, awesome. But on the days where I don't have it in me, 10 pages and I'm done. Yeah, so just take that into consideration on those days where it gets difficult and it gets hard and you don't feel like doing the things. Just do what you have to do and no more. Now, let's get into the juicy part, the progress. So taking progress pics isn't something I've ever done on a regular basis anyway. If anything, I was just taking progress pics of me perpetually gaining weight and getting bigger. So I've never taken them in this way to actually show my progress in the right direction over time. Taking progress pics every day wasn't too much to ask, but I definitely needed to write it down so I would remember, because if you miss a progress pic day, you have to start over. And Lord knows, I'm not about to do that over taking a picture. So it's on my habit tracker now. But yeah, this really showed me just really the changes day to day and over time. It's really tremendous, and it's only been about 5 to 6 weeks how much my body shape has changed. I'm not closely tracking the scale anymore, but from what I have taken, I haven't lost any weight, honestly. From that point of view, I did take a body scan to get my composition earlier on in the process, so I will have those in numbers to see how much my muscle, composition has changed, and my body fat composition has changed over time as well. And this happened to align with what my gym is doing, so I will have those figures at the end of the 75. Yeah, those progress pics are crazy. Let me pull them up now so I can talk about what I see in the pictures. Let's start from back to front. One of my just kind of trouble areas or something I want to work towards is the back rolls, honey. So as you can see, starting at the top, that bra bulge. And I'm glad I got these photos in kind of the same outfit. I don't know if it's the same leggings, but they look close enough. Yeah, that bra bulge in the back there at the top, you can see that's basically flat now. Going down to the second one under the bra, that one's just gone right on in. And then my butt, I wasn't really expecting much change in the butt area. It's just kind of been my butt my whole life, but yeah, as you can see, it seems to have perked up a little bit, and it's more round. It's gone in a little bit, which I'm not mad at. I've had a big butt my whole life, so if it, wants to compress a little bit, I'm not mad at it. There's still, plenty there. And then, but in all seriousness, let's go to the front. So there, I have the arrow pointing toward like a little armpit roll there. That's kind of flattened out. My stomach is probably the most noticeable area that, has condensed. If you like line up kind of where my boobs, like the furthest out they go, my stomach was kind of right there at the line. And now, I don't have booty do no more. So my stomach, it looks, flatter than it did in the initial pic. So that's awesome. It's kind of hard to notice my thigh area, but it looks to me a little smaller. Let me know what you think. Even like how my arms are kind of hanging at the same angle more or less, but now my hand stops at the front of my thigh versus, in the before pic, there was more meat there. Yeah, so these are my like halfway progress pics. I'm really excited to see what the end of the roll progress pics look like. I'm about to be super snatched. Even my arms. My arms are another like problem area, but I see some difference there as well. They look a little smaller. The elbow cleavage. Let me take a closer look. Yeah, there's definitely some like less space between, like, look at that mole. Look at the mole on my arm, and then like the distance from there to the front of my arm. There's definitely some, less distance there. So all around, it seems to be making progress. If I do this again, I would definitely take measurements and then do like a video 360, because I want to see what I would like to have seen what I look like from the back, as far as like my back rolls and things like that. I want to see what that looked like starting out. Yeah, what that looked like starting out, just to kind of see more, just to get more data on what the changes were and what I look like before and after. So yeah, those are the results. So far so good. I'm only halfway through, so I'm excited to see what a full 75. I know what 30-ish days looks like. I'm ready to see what 75 days looks like. And yeah, so continuing on the physical side of things, taking the progress pics obviously is very beneficial. Very beneficial to just keeping track of your progress and staying motivated. Self-care is important. I am a big proponent of the sauna. I'm in there just as often as I can be for maybe like 30-ish minutes at a time, to just increase circulation and get my blood flowing and get things moving in that manner. Stretching, invaluable, something you have to do, or so just so you're not stiff and you're keeping yourself limber with the running and the exercising and the weightlifting. You can just really tighten up, and it's important to stretch and foam roll and self-massage and get actual massages if you can. Hot baths, ibuprofen when you need it. I don't rely on it too much, because you don't want to use it to ignore pains and issues that may be going on in your body. Just use it when you have like severe discomfort, and in combination with taking rest. Taking ibuprofen and going back out and hitting it hard again, you're kind of defeating the purpose of combating that inflammation. Sleep, another thing you have to do. If you're not getting quality and quantities of sleep you need, you're not going to do well. You're going to suffer elsewhere in your life. You're going to suffer trying to work out. You're going to suffer trying to keep up with this program. You have to get the sleep. I started a vitamin regimen if you watch my vlogs, you can see what I'm taking, but it's mainly B12, maca, ashwagandha, and a multivitamin to just make sure you're getting all of those vitamins and nutrients you need to perform at at your top level. And a generally healthful diet. This is somewhere I can improve. I've cut out a big chunk of animal products out of my diet, but it's not the cleanest, most healthful, vegetable and fruit forward. Like, I barely eat any fruit just because of another little small tangent. The fruit in this country is not that good. Like, it's very hard to find tasty fruit here. Like, I'm that's all I can say. Like, the mangoes are no good. The pineapples are okay, but that's just because they've been modified to be super sweet when you let them ripen. The bananas are okay. They're just regular, but like the watermelons and all the fruit I like, the berries, the cherries, they're just not that good. So it's hard for me to enjoy something that I know tastes better on a different continent than it is to have it here, and it just tastes sad. It tastes like depressed. The fruit is depressed. So it's hard for me to enjoy, but I need to definitely kick it up there. More leafy greens, more vegetables, things like that, and less processed food. So by no means have I been on a super clean diet along this. I've been kind of just eating what I want, and it just happens to be that most of it is not super terrible. It's not the best quality food, the cleanest, strictest, most, like the epitome of health type food, but it is better than, burgers and fries all the time, or, chicken nuggets, or eating a T-bone steak for dinner every night. It is better, but it's not the best. Tips on being successful with this is to plan. Have a plan for everything. Have a plan for your meals. Have a plan for when you're going to work out. Have a plan for drinking your water. Have a plan for reading your book. Having a plan to do everything. If you're just kind of, wheeling and dealing and just leaving things up to chance, and I'll do this, to later on today. No, it's not. It may work sometimes, but it's not going to work every time. And all it takes is one day for you to fall off, and then your whole thing is ruined. Imagine doing that, and then 30 days in, you forget, oh, I forgot to read my book today. Day 0, day 1, starting over again. So definitely having a plan, that's crucial. I like to write things down and have a list. I have a habit tracker. I recommend that as a way to make sure you're getting these things done. But you choose what works best for you. Having a schedule. I prefer to do most of these things earlier in the day. That way I'm not thinking about it, because I'm also the type of person like, okay, I know I need to do this today, so I'm going to be thinking about it all day until I can check it off my list, and then it just magically disappears. So having a schedule for your day, as similar as you can, at least Monday through Friday. It works best for me is having, okay, I work out in the morning, I have breakfast, I have a shower, I get to work, I do this, I do that. Just having routine seems to be most effective on keeping these habits and keeping these tasks in check. And again, implementing everything earlier in the day. So you don't give into decision fatigue and get into I'm tired now, or give into, things happening throughout the day. You never know. You might have an emergency, after lunch, and now you can't do any of your things, and now you're thrown off. But if you had done them kind of at 6 or 7 or 8 o'clock and done those things earlier, you wouldn't have to worry. Right? You can handle your business, handle your emergency, handle, whatever life is throwing at you, and still be successful and complete the things that you promised yourself you would. So the earlier the better. So yeah, those are my tips. That's kind of my story of my progress so far. I hope this helps. If you're interested in continuing with me on this journey, I definitely recommend subscribing so you can catch up when I do part 2 and the completion and the final chapter of this journey. I'm having a time. Sometimes it's a good time, sometimes it's not so good, but I'm enjoying the journey either way. And I'm just excited to see what happens and see what the end results are. And it's crazy because I'm already thinking about doing it again. I'm gonna implement it on another level, probably going fully plant-based. I thought about going all the way like raw vegan for 75 days, but I don't want to do too much. But I definitely, when I do it again, I am gonna go vegan for 75 days. Or go plant-based. I don't want to say I'm going vegan, but I'm going plant-based for 75 days. But yeah, it's been a journey so far. I am enjoying it for the most part. It's really opening my eyes to a lot of things, really changing my mindset, as well as changing my physical composition. So I couldn't be happier in this, in this journey. It's tough, but it's challenging, and I'm loving myself more and more for completing these things every day and keeping my promise to myself. So if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you want to continue to ride this ride with me, give me a subscribe. It's, help me help you, basically. But that's all I have for this video. If you enjoyed it, let me know. Leave a comment. If you're doing 75 hard, again, I'm going to do it again. I'll announce it if y'all are interested in joining me along with my next journey. I don't know when it's going to be. I'm probably going to take a little break just to kind of reset and recalibrate, but I'm going to do it again for sure. So if you're interested, stay tuned. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.